Hello, my name is Tom Schultz. I'm the president of TCS Realty Associates and owner of the property exhibited in the following presentation known as Bingham Center. We, along with our partners at the Donahoe Companies, are pleased to submit the following presentation to the community for your review and comment. The seed of our Bingham Center project was planted over 30 years ago and reached maturity today thanks to the combined efforts of a multitude of stakeholders, including our county staff, the county board, our extensive development team, and equally importantly, our neighborhood citizens associations and advisory groups. As has been the case on virtually every project TCS Realty Associates has developed in Clarendon over the last 3 decades, Bingham Center has benefited significantly from this collaborative effort. To summarize briefly, Bingham Center is the critical link which will move the energy of Clarendon Village to its western limits, while also linking us to the exciting new eastern end of Virginia Square, the vibrant home of the George Mason University Law School and related graduate programs. Bingham Center consists of 2 buildings. The first is the Bingham Hotel, a high-end boutique property which will add the final touch to our truly mixed-use village, bringing a much-needed boost to our emerging office market while offering a destination to a wide range of businesses and vacation travelers. This 11-story, 222-key hotel overlooks the newly designed and constructed Clarendon Circle. The second building is an 11-story, 288 to 290-unit multifamily building, which, consistent with the recently revised and approved Clarendon Sector Plan, tapers down to 75 feet at the soon-to-be improved North 10th Street. As part of the overall project, there will be a blend of retail uses in both the hotel and apartment buildings, offering an additional touch of vitality to the western end of Clarendon. I and various team members will now guide you through this presentation, and we look forward to your subsequent comments and feedback. During this video, we will provide a brief introduction and information about zoning and land use, overall site design and layout, architectural design, transportation and connectivity, and open space. The Bingham Center site is located in the heart of Clarendon and a short walk to the Clarendon Metro Station. It's a challenging triangular-shaped property bounded by 10th Street, Wilson Boulevard, and North Irving Street. The property is a consolidation of a number of small lots and buildings and was years in the making. The Bingham Center site totals 1.87 acres of land. This exhibit shows you the current conditions in and around the site. As you can see, the site contains a number of small, aged commercial buildings with numerous curb cuts and lots of asphalt and surface parking. Photos 1 through 4 walk you down Wilson Boulevard from 10th Street to the Silver Diner. The site is on your right until you cross Wilson Boulevard in photo number 4 and turn around and see the Silver Diner. The 10th Street and Wilson Boulevard corner is currently occupied by The Lot, a beer garden across from the Dominion Power Station on Wilson Boulevard. Most all of the buildings are set right up against the street, providing unpleasant and unsafe experiences for pedestrians and leaving little room for appropriately sized sidewalks, street trees, street lights, and other modern streetscape elements. Photos 5 through 8 are views from Irving and 10th Street. You can see our neighbor, Joyce Motors, or Partners, another development company, is processing their own application for development of this site. We're working with them to ensure that our respective projects work effectively together. For example, Bingham Center will share an alley with the new Joyce Motors development, and we're collaborating to create the community-focused experience on the new 10th Road, which separates the 2 multifamily buildings from the Bingham Hotel. In these last 4 context photos, 9 through 12, you can see the views of the site from central Clarendon. Bingham Center is well situated to create a landmark and define the urban western edge of downtown Clarendon. Northside Social and the adjacent historic buildings will be close neighbors in spirit as well as proximity. Longtime Arlingtonian Bingham Burner, who has inspired and lent his name to this project, operated his upholstery shop at the current Northside Social for many years. As you will hear, this project pays homage to these historic people and buildings. As mentioned previously, the Bingham Center assemblage is a unique triangular site offering significant design and construction challenges. To make this even more complicated, the development team is required to work with the county to make much needed improvements to the pedestrian and vehicular patterns through and in Western Clarendon. The developer's contributions of land for these improvements result in a large reduction of 38% of the developable site, as shown in the green highlighted portion of the image to the right of your screen. As a result of these developer contributions, Bingham Center will bring new life and vitality to this part of Clarendon. The current large parking lot sprinkled with aging buildings will make way for a wider Wilson Boulevard, wider sidewalks with generous and attractive streetscape, and pedestrian and bike lane improvements. North 10th Street will be broken up by a mid-block service alley, and the new 10th Road North will provide access across the site, ultimately connecting with Hudson Street to the east per the sector plan. In these diagrams, the existing buildings are shown in red. The diagram on the right indicates the developer's contribution for the public's use in green, including improvements along 10th Street. As you can see, approximately 38% of the site will be dedicated or used for these public purposes. I'll now pass this presentation on to Dave Tarter, Principal of Tarter Nova Law.
Thanks, Tom. I will now give you a brief overview of the project's zoning and land use. The site is zoned C3 and is designated medium density mixed use on the general land use plan. The project is located within the Clarendon Revitalization District and is subject to the Clarendon Sector Plan, which makes the site eligible for special zoning provisions, heights, and densities. A recent sector plan update focused on the Bingham Center property and several nearby sites, and included amendments to the sector plan, zoning ordinance, and other implementation tools. The applicant was heavily involved throughout this process, and the Bingham Center proposal has been designed in connection with these updates. This image and the following one come from the 2022 Clarendon Sector Plan update. You can see the Bingham Center site overlaid on the use mix plan. One of these recent amendments specifically permitted hotel use on the Bingham site. Here the Bingham site is shown overlaid on the maximum heights limits and step backs map from the update. The residential building steps from 75 feet on 10th Street to 95 feet and then to 110 feet at the hotel. The maximum height for the hotel is 110 feet with rooftop amenity space permitted above. Step backs are shown with a purple line along a portion of Wilson Boulevard that designates a 10-foot step back at the second, third, fourth, or fifth floors across from the historic buildings on Wilson. Sector Plan provides additional guidance and recommendations that you'll hear more about throughout this presentation. I'll now pass it on to Eileen Horn at KGD.
Thank you. I'm Eileen Horn, Director of Hospitality at KGD Architecture, and I will now discuss the architecture and site design of the project. Important features include the enhanced streetscapes along Wilson Boulevard and 10th Street North. The developer has agreed to step the building back approximately 26 feet to widen Wilson Boulevard, add a parking lane, and expand the sidewalk to 12 feet. Similar improvements are to be provided on 10th Street, greatly enhancing the experience and safety on these streets. A new multifunctional Wooner-style 10th Road will bring our two buildings together and be designed for occasional festival events. And a future North Irving Street Park will contribute to an enhanced sense of place, be a respite from the busy intersection, and add a flexible space for community events. In this aerial view of Bingham Center, you can see the hotel to the left and the residential building to the right. The Bingham Hotel is across Wilson Boulevard from two sites which are unlikely to be replaced: the Dominion Power Substation and the historically designated Northside Social. In deference to Northside Social, the hotel steps back and the second-story terrace shifts the guest room towers back from the building edge. The triangular shape of our parcel, the widened street and expanded streetscape along Wilson Boulevard, have made it very difficult to accomplish the county's 10-foot step back along the entirety of the designated area. Instead, we propose a large terrace at the second floor and a 2-story volume at the hotel entrance to provide a similar sense of mass while allowing a functional floor plate for the hotel. In addition, we are using the 2 contrasting brick colors in the body of the hotel to further reduce the sense of scale and create an alternative step-back volume on Wilson Boulevard. The residential building is located at Wilson Boulevard and 10th Street North. To maximize potential efficiencies, the 2 buildings share an underground garage. The residential building steps back on Wilson Boulevard and is in counterpoint to the low profile of the Dominion substation. The building steps back on Wilson Boulevard, although not the full 10 feet, again due to the already significant widening of Wilson Boulevard, the wider streetscape, and the triangular shape of the site. Changes in the color of the brick, along with increased articulation and detailing of the brick at the retail level and the 5 floors above, reduce the perception of the building's height for the pedestrian. Limiting the depth of the step back makes possible the generous south-facing courtyard that also reduces the sense of scale on 10th Street. In this slide, we are above 10th Street and looking west toward Wilson Boulevard. The second-story courtyard and rooftop amenities terrace step back from 10th Street, thereby increasing residents' daylight and views from their apartments and reducing the perception of the apartment's mass on 10th Street.
Thank you, Eileen. In our travels around the country over the last few years, we've been inspired by a number of historic buildings and boutique hotels. Many of these inspirations have been incorporated into both the exterior and the interior to create a hotel reflective of the history and character of Clarendon Village. The names Bingham Center and Bingham Hotel were both inspired by Bingham Burner, a longtime member of the Clarendon community whose strength of character, creativity, and sense of place reflect the best of Clarendon and all of Arlington County. Our charge to our remarkable design team at KGD is to make the street-level presence of the Bingham Hotel feel as if it's been there for decades, and the accompanying building is simply a modern-day addition enhancing its seemingly historic presence. Once again, the tight triangular site has imposed design challenges on our team, which were met with great creativity. By creating the L-shaped floor plate above the first floor, we were able to respect the presence of the popular north side social and also add the second floor courtyard green space benefiting our Bingham Hotel guests. As Clarendon has developed over the last 25 years, we've been able to both preserve its village character while also enhancing it with a mix of uses to bring a much needed vitality. The boutique Bingham Hotel is perhaps the final building block in our community efforts. The Bingham Hotel is in response to the office market's demands for a convenient, high quality, and most importantly, local place of lodging for both office tenants and visiting business and vacation travelers. The combination of the premier Clarendon location, the character and design of the Marriott Autograph Collection, and the Donahoe hospitality operations expertise is a guarantee of the success of the Bingham Hotel. Back to you, Eileen.
The first 2 floors form the base of the building. The base is delineated and articulated to convey the sense that it has been part of the Clarendon street scene for many decades. The hotel lobby is on the first floor. Event and conference facilities are on the second floor around the terrace. This space is gray brick with large windows and copper-colored metal accents. You can see the metal used to create a frame for the restaurant and the hotel entrance. You will see the same detail ties the hotel entrance to the rooftop bar above. The hotel's street-level cafe will be accessible to hotel guests and the general public from the Clarendon Circle entrance as well as from the future Irving Street Park. The restaurant wraps around the front of the Bingham Hotel from Wilson Boulevard to the proposed North Irving Street Park. The hotel loading and service entrance are on the far left at the corner of the building on 10th Road. Since all three sides of this building face the public way, this backstage entrance is discreet and essential. Restaurant patrons and picnicking neighbors will all enjoy the new park. This new community asset will be a pleasant interlude for our neighborhood pedestrian commuters heading to and from the metro. Contributions to this new park are one of the developer's many proposed community benefits. The rooftop bar will take advantage of its prime location to offer spectacular views down Wilson and Clarendon Boulevard toward the nation's capital. Here is another view of our proposed step back along Wilson Boulevard. Stepping back the buildings at the intersection of Wilson and 10th Road North opens up the street to daylight and garden opportunities, provides scale to the low-rise Northside Social building across the street, and we believe meets the spirit of the sector plan while allowing a functional floor plate. Here you can see how the use of distinct materials and details gives the illusion of two buildings while highlighting the lower terrace and drawing the eye to the rooftop. As we walk down Wilson Boulevard from the restaurant, you can see the relationship between the two-story base of the building and our historic neighbors. The building steps back from Northside Social and will present a major contrast from the experience on the street today. Retail space wraps the base of the residential building, creating a vibrant streetscape at 10th Road and Wilson Boulevard. The retail spaces on Wilson will meet the Main Street retail frontage design principles. Individual tenant spaces will be no more than 50 feet apart and 75% transparency for the designated portion of the storefronts. Similarly, the retail frontages along 10th Street and the remainder of the site will meet the required sector plan retail frontage requirements. Just beyond these cafe patrons, you can see the hotel's vehicular entrance at 10th Road and the lay-by. Guests who are dropped off at this entrance or use valet parking enter into the same lobby as the guests entering the Wilson Boulevard entrance. The ballroom is on the second floor above this entrance. We've embraced the challenge of designing a hotel on this triangular site. The first floor plan on the left shows the two entrances leading to the same arrival point in the lobby. The valet will park guests' cars in the shared underground parking, whose entrance is on the alley. The restaurant has its own distinct entrance and presence as it also welcomes hotel guests. You can see the event terrace we mentioned on the second floor plan in the image on the right side of the slide. These images reflect our vision and inspiration for the design of the residential building. It is anchored in the urban fabric and is amenity-rich and has an affinity for the neighboring hotel while expressing its own unique character. This shows the apartment building on 10th Road as it steps back. The hotel is grayed out on the left, and you can see Northside Social across the street on the right. The buildings have been pulled away at the intersection of 10th Road and Wilson so as not to loom over Northside Social. You can see how the use of the different brick colors, the position and form of the balconies, and varying window patterns break down the building mass, create rhythm and variety, thereby enhancing the pedestrian experience. Here, we are looking down Wilson Boulevard toward Virginia Square, while standing across the street from Bingham Center, and the hotel is visible once again. The red brick base of the building is pronounced as the gray brick steps back above the lower floors. Vertical recesses and balconies add dimension to the facade plane. Here, we continue our walk down Wilson toward the lobby entrance, with Main Street retail spaces on either side of the welcoming entrance. The building steps back at the 6th floor and is accentuated by the change in the brick color and the window detailing. The balconies at the lower levels create a pedestrian-scaled urban rhythm. You can see the attractive street-level retail opportunities. 10th Street has gradually emerged over the last 20 years as a viable retail stretch, and Bingham Center will add much to this evolution. On 10th Street, the change in materials and facade elements reduce the sense of mass. By locating the pool on the second level, we were able to create two separate legs of residential units, open it to the sunlight and a courtyard, and break up the building facade as it faces the community. This is a pedestrian view across Wilson at 10th Street. The brick detailing, change in materials, and facade articulation again enhance the building stepbacks, create a striking landmark which is a far cry from the parking lot there today. This slide dramatically illustrates the respectful relationship we share with the popular and historic Northside Social. While significantly different in scale and style, the two properties both contribute to the unique village character of Clarendon. We're looking here at the first and second floor plans of the residential building. On the left, the retail is in green, and the resident lobby and associated spaces are in orange. These retail spaces will meet the Main Street, 10th Street, and side street frontage design requirements for enhanced visibility and a variety of retail and associated uses. The service areas are gray and are served from the alley. We have coordinated the design of the alley with the Joyce Motors development, so the garage entrances are not directly across from each other. On the right, you can see the central courtyard with pool and gardens. It opens the building up to the south, drawing more daylight into the apartments. The residential parking ratio provided is 0.455 spaces per unit. Retail parking is 1 space per 500 square feet. The hotel is parked at 0.39 spaces per guest room. We are providing bicycle parking facilities that serve employees, residents, and visitors, a total of 143 long-term and 16 short-term spaces. The garage will include knockout panels so that it can be shared with the Joyce Motors project, if desired, to increase parking efficiency. We believe that the parking provided is appropriate given the proximity to Metro and other transit. We are making a number of transportation improvements in accordance with the sector plan that will make commuting by Metro safer, including widening Wilson Boulevard, creating wider, safer sidewalks, street trees, street lights, and other streetscape upgrades on Wilson and 10th Street. We're building a new 10th Road. We're locating the hotel drop-off, service, and garage access away from the major thoroughfares. We've coordinated the implementation of county improvements to the intersection of Wilson Boulevard and 10th Street, and we're enhancing the pedestrian connection to Metro through the new North Irving Street Park and providing new bicycle facilities on 10th Street. We have also attempted to make the site open and accessible per the sector plan. We've provided access for everyone, and every mode of transportation has been carefully considered. Public pedestrian entrances for both buildings are on Wilson Boulevard. The hotel restaurant has its own pedestrian entrance. Valet parking for the hotel is on 10th Road North to reduce interruptions to the flow of Wilson Boulevard. The service entrance for the hotel is separate from the public entrances. A secure bicycle room is provided for hotel employees in the hotel. Bike lanes will be added and improved per the sector plan. Garage access for both buildings and service for the residential building is to be off the alley. An airy and verdant environment is a necessary ingredient to any successful new urbanism development. And to that end, we have incorporated a number of important features to Bingham Center. The widened sidewalks and tree plantings, the attractive planter box constructions, the Wilson Boulevard intersections with both 10th Road and Washington Boulevard, the second floor hotel terrace, the rooftop gardens on the 2 upper levels of our multifamily property, and the activated 10th Road bring nature to what is now a paved parking lot. Our addition of the new Irving Street Park will be a delightful community benefit to be enjoyed by the public as well. With this application, we have submitted a proposed concept for the North Irving Street Park, which will welcome pedestrian movement in all directions for a variety of activities and events. Lawn, rain gardens, and other planting areas will offer visitors a refreshing respite. This series of rooms with varying shade is designed to inspire impromptu performances and social gatherings. The implementation of universal design principles and accessibility invites everyone to participate in local markets, festivals, and neighborhood events. Our work has been guided by the design principles of biophilia: natural environment, natural forms and shapes, light, natural patterns and processes, connections, and human relationships to nature.
Bingham Center is the culmination of years of planning, creativity, and hard work. TCS Realty Associates, the Donahoe Companies, KGD Architects, Tartar Nova Law, and our entire team are proud and excited to have the opportunity to make this presentation to the community, and we look forward to your feedback and further engagement.